Hadi destekleyin beni. Destek istiyorum sizden.
Arkadaşlar hazır mısınız?
Merhaba değerli arkadaşlar, ben Utku, kanalıma hoş geldiniz. Vampyr'a kaldığımız yerden devam ediyoruz. En son burada bırakmıştık oyunumuzu. Adam bıçaklıyor lan.
Rotten oppressive. Each heart contains the source of life. Drink at this river. Try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Adama yardım ederim abi.
A good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Ne de olsa insanız sonuçta yani.
That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reid.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Kan kalitesi, adamın kan kalitesi düşük, 500 XP veriyor. Ne kadar yüksekse kazanacağım puan o kadar yüksek olur. Şimdi adamı cezbetmemiz lazım. Herhalde bunu burada mecburen içeceğiz senaryo gereği. Adamın kontrolünü ele aldık. Tenha bir yere götürüp adamın kanını emelim. Kucakla dersek, kucaklamak nedir ya? Isır diye çevirir bari insan. Kucakla dersek adamın kanını içecek. Ama bırak dersek adamı bağışlayacağız. Clay'in kanını içmek çok büyük bir tecrübe puanı artı sağlayacaktır ama sonuçlarına dikkat et. Vatandaşlar hakkında daha çok şey öğrenmek ve ipuçları toplamak kazanılan tecrübe puanlarını artıracaktır. Bırakacağım ben bu adamı abi ya.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
Dalgasına baksın. Clay.
What happened?
2 dakika bir konuşsak. Yay çıktı. Şöyle lootlayalım.
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go, but no famished hunter can run for long.
Şurayı alamadım ya. Heh. Şunları kurcalayalım da öyle konuşalım.
I'm not one to make... Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
Oo, azarladı bizi.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reid.
Hoş
Your
bulduk.
office has been prepared.
Ofisimizi de hazırlamışlar. Hadi bakalım. Birkaç sorum var.
I would like to ask a few questions first.
Doktor
What
Swansea'deki
kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
Oo. Sağlam laf
It's
soktu.
right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Tamam böyle olsun bakalım hadi. Onunla daha yeni görüştüm.
Apologies, I've only just met him but once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
Bay Hampton
And
nasıllar?
Mr. Hampton, the
Afiyetteler
patient
inşallah.
brought in. How does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
Şoktaymış. O adam nerede? Anlat ya İlker, niye soruyorsun?
Second floor of the
Hastanenin 2. kat. Tamam, görüşmek
Thank you.
üzere. Teşekkür ederiz. Hemşire Crane. Hastane dolu. Grip salgını yüzünden bu hastane daha fazla hastalanmaktadır. Hastanemiz dolu. Lütfen evinize dönün. Ne yapsın millet, ölsün mü ya? Ne yapak? Nereye gidek ya? Belediyenin önüne gidek o zaman ya. Nereye gidecekler ya? Nereye gidecekler? Hasta burada. Ne yapacak? Vicdansızlık. Ne diyeceğim? Şuraları kurcalayalım ya. Ben seviyorum böyle kurcalamayı. Aha.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reid. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reid. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I
Oo,
learned to shoot
tabancamızı
during the
gördü.
war.
Hayırdır dedi yani bu tabanca. Sen de nasıl doktorsun sen dedi.
Habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reid. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Alışveriş yapalım. Önce bir şuna kişisel soru soralım bakalım. İpucu gerekli diyor. Londra'daki hayatın. Burada durumlar nasıl?
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since too long, I guess.
Hem ambulans şoförü hem de silah
Night and
kaçakçısı.
day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done most of the time.
Zor zamanlar
It
geçirmiş
sounds
gibisin
like
Milton.
things have been a bit rough recently.
Milton da herhalde Afrika
Yesterday I got
melezi.
attacked by the patient I was bringing in. I escaped from the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet.
Ondaki bayrak da Japon
You
bayrağına benziyor.
left an infected patient
Bayrak diyorum
outside the
şey
hospital.
bant.
That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Yerel soruşturmalar. Yeni bir vatandaş soruşturması mevcut. Yerel soruşturma mevzusundan açmak için tebe bas. Vatandaş soruşturmalar bölgelere göre ayrılmış şekilde burada gösterilir. Yeni bir vatandaş görevine iz sürerek başlayabilirsin. Vay, böyle adamlarla konuşarak yeni görevler açıyoruz arkadaşlar. Onun için her adamla konuşmamız lazım.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary
Konuşmayı ihmal
situation in
etmemek
the
lazım.
vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
Geri. Silah
Are
kaçakçılığı
you
mı?
really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
Oo, güzel açıklamaydı ha. Bunları şey yaptık zaten. Alışveriş
I'd
yapalım
like
bakalım.
to see your...
Wise choice, Dr. Reid.
Satın al. 58 şilinim var zaten ya. Bunlara şimdilik para harcamayalım. Belki ileride para lazım olur.
It's safer here than anywhere else in the East End.
Doktor Tippett.
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reid has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before.
Rockefeller
Rockefeller
University.
University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
Kişisel sorular. İpucu gerekli. Londra'daki hayatın. Buradaki durum
What is
nedir?
the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
İnsanlar çok önemli.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reid. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
Bana çalışanlardan bahset. Bana masal anlatma.
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Olumlu
Tell
karakterler
me
derken.
more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
Yeni bir ipucu bulduk.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Kadınlar
Any
doktor olamıyor mu
opinion
acaba?
about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Geri diyelim. Geri. Kişisel sorular, ipucu gerekli. Acaba şunlarda ipucu bulduk mu? Yok. İpucu gerekli. Tamam. Görüşmek üzere Doktor Tippett. Kendine iyi bak. Şuna bir vatandaş menüsü. Burada da başka vatandaşlar varmış ama hiç tanıyamadık ya. Hastanedeki vatandaşlar, ayrıntılar. Bir tane ipucu bulduk. Evet.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
Kişisel sorular. Evet, Tippett senden övgüyle söz ediyor.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse.
Ne var lan Tippett'la aranızda?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Başka Londra'daki hayatıyla ilgili biraz
How
bilgi
are
alalım.
things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
Görünmez düşman derken?
An invisible enemy. Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Hastane
Do you think
başarısız
this
olabilir mi?
hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
Geri. Bana
I'm not
çalışanlardan
familiar with
bahset.
all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Göze batan var mı? Şimdi direkt kadına konuş demeyelim ya. Ayıp olur.
I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Dr. Tippett hakkında bir ipucu. Konuş.
Nurse Brannigan,
Konuş.
if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end everybody is doing their best.
İyi, tamam. Bununla konuşacak başka bir şeyimiz kalmadı. Görüşmek
Goodbye,
üzere.
nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Odamıza gidelim artık ya. Ne çok konuştuk.
Dr. Swansea is right. Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Şununla ilgili bir ipucu
Dr.
öğrenmiştik.
Reid, any good news to share?
Kişisel sorular yok. Dondurulduk hayatın. Tükenmişsin
You're
kardeş.
exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more unto the breach.
Şimdi adama direkt yürümeyelim ya. Hemşire Brannigan oldukça
Nurse
endişeli.
Brannigan is worried about you, Doctor.
She should not have told you that. I will have a word with her.
You don't have to blame her for her honesty.
I'm not that kind of man, my dear Jonathan. Actually, Nurse Brannigan's opinion is the only one I may listen to.
Neden acaba? Nurse aranızda bir şey mi var
Dr.
sizin?
Tippett.
Goodbye Tippett.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reid.
Herkesle de konuşuyoruz ha.
Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me.
Thelma.
Mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
Çok felsefi konuşuyorsun
What are you
Thelma.
begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reid, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Vampire mı? Kafayı yemişsin gerçi
Who
sen.
are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No, it was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
İpucum yok şu an. Sen vampir misin?
why do you
Ben vampirim diyor işte ya.
I
Niye?
don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Aynı soruyu 50 kere sorduk kadına ya. Nasıl hissettiğini anlat bakayım bir.
Describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
Cotard sendromunu duydun mu hiç?
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say?
Yeni bir ipucu bulduk.
Petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. to hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Düşmanların derken?
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
Sana bakacağız.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will
Ya kadın gerçekten vampirse?
I'll personally make
Gerçi gerçekten vampir olsa şimdiye bizi duman ederdi ya.
But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
I'll leave you, mistress.
İpucu açıldı bununla ilgili. Şu Thelma Cotard sendromu var. Herkesle de konuşabiliyoruz ya maşallah.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
İpucu gerekli. Londra'daki hayatın. Burada durumlar nasıl?
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
İspanyol gribi sonsuza dek sürmeyecek.
Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
Tut bir yerinden, tut bir yerinden ne demek ya?
Sorry.
Hold on demek herhalde, sakin ol demek, tut bir yerinden diye çevirmişler. Neyse ama çeviri gayet başarılı ya şu an için.
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
Şaşırdın.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
Çalışanlar
How
ne
is the
durumda?
Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Milton neden bu kadar huzursuz?
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Ha, Milton hakkında bir ipucu
Why does
bulduk.
Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Okay. Teşekkür ederim Pippa.
Fear and disgust on every street corner. The daily.
Sarımsak ve kazı kullanımı hakkında.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No.
Yüzüne ne olmuş
I
ya?
don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reid.
Senin yüzüne ne
I've
olmuş?
recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little
adam savaş şeyiymiş ya. Pardon birader.
Still call me Thomas.
Özür dilerim, adam gaziymiş. Ziyaretin
How
nasıl
is your stay
geçiyor?
with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moment.
Birinci Dünya Savaşı'ndan dönen bir askermiş.
Precisely why you're a patient here.
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars. If you get my drift.
Yapabileceğim bir şey var mı?
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Vay be, yazık adama ya. Bayan Hawcroft'un ölümü.
How close are you to Miss Hawcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
Seni ısırmasına izin mi verdin?
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of my blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
Vay be. Görüşmek üzere Thomas.
Damn. The pain. It's here again.
Lan konuşmaktan sıkıldım. Herkesle konuşuyoruz ha.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reid, is it? Oh, sorry, I must
apologize. Bu kurtardığımız adam.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reid. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Çeteyi şimdi kim yönetiyor?
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Geri. Tom Watts.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Umutsuzluk.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Yolsuzluk
Who should
derken.
I avoid in this part of town then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
Ne iş yapıyorsun?
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice
Rahip
the
herhalde
cross
adam ya.
around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks.
Gece barınağı
And I try
işletiyormuş.
to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Rahip misin?
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Geri. Geldiğinden
Have
beri
you made
arkadaş edinebildin mi?
friends since you arrived?
Not really. But I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
Nasıl
How do you
hissediyorsun?
feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
Görüşmek üzere. Sıkıldım ya, biraz şeye girelim, aksiyona girelim. Aha. Buraya gelmiş.
How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm.
Bana Thomas Elwood'dan bahset.
Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood? Why him?
I'm not sure, Doctor. I think we have a bond of some sort. We've both suffered so much. He's the only mortal I find interesting.
Duygusal bağ mı var?
Would you say you and Mr. Elwood are romantically involved?
No, Thomas is a delicate soul. Even though he disguises it. But I am not the woman he needs. No, for I am a vampire, Doctor.
Sen vampir falan değilsin, kafayı mı yedin Thelma?
Do you plan to make him a vampire too?
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else? I'm not that cruel, Doctor.
Vay be, vicdanlı çıktı.
I'll
Görüşmek
leave
üzere.
you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
We may lack the resources, but we have some of the most brilliant minds in London at Pembroke.
Bakayım.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reid? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverley Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Ne amatörü oğlum biz? Cephede savaştık geldik, cephe doktoruyduk ya.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to
Gözlerim
tell me.
kuruyor ya.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reid. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Şuna bir göz daha verelim. Benimle konuşurken düzgün konuş lan. Hayırdır?
My dear colleague, and very quickly.
I don't think so. Perhaps you think yourself protected by Dr. Swansea, but I am still a free man, and I will speak to you the way I want.
Öyle olsun.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
İyice yobaz çıktı ya. Nasıl doktor olmuş anlamadım bu yobaz.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reid, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know.
Adam harbiden yobaz çıktı ya.
That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
Ne gerçeği oğlum, milletin hayatını kurtardık ya. Adam kafayı yemiş.
Thank you for your time.
Daha fazla katlanamayacağım sana. Akol musun, akolite misin, nesin?
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Doğru, seninle konuşmuştuk ya.
Thank you, no.
I will not let you down, my
Harvey. Geliyorum Harvey, bekle 5 dakika bekle. Geldim Harvey.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reid.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Ackroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you.
Oku sıkıldım ya.
I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reid? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick.
Görüşmek üzere Mr. Fiddick.
Calm the children, Ellen. As for me...
Odamıza gidelim artık. Bu kim? Şu an bize gıcık olan tip. Şunları nasıl koymuşum anlamadım ya. Acil hemşire aranıyor. Hemşire sıkıntısı varmış memlekette. Önce bir odama gideyim de ya öyle dolaşalım. Doktor Swansea'nin odası. Kemik testeresi. Ha, şurada bir şey var. Doktor Elwood'un hasta dosyası. Doktor diyorum yani, T. Elwood. Evet, ipucu öğrendik Elwood hakkında. Harvey Fidik hakkında da bir ipucu aldık.
It's locked, all right.
Şurası bizim odamız sanırım.
This must be the place.
Evet.
It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
Bakalım ne gibi bir üretim şeyleri yapabiliriz. Geri dönüşümde hiçbir şey yok. Serumlar. Hiç crafting malzemem yok ki abi ya. Şu iyiymiş. Bunu da geliştiremiyorum.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
Herkes ertesi geceye kadar uyu diyor. Hemşire bize hoş geldin mektubu yazmış. Uyuyalım bakalım. Evet. Sağlığımızı artıralım abi. Sağlığımız önemli ya. Burada level atlarken şuradaki XP'den gidiyor arkadaşlar. Tamam, sağlığımızı artırdık. Dayanıklılık, şu da staminamızı artırıyor. Bunu da artıralım abi. Bunlar önemli. Tamam. Geriye de zaten pek bir şey kalmadı ya. Puan kalmadı yani.
If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better
Bölümdeki
learn
beyaz
to
önlük.
hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my
Acaba bir önceki görev gitti mi ya, arka bahçeye çık diyordu. Umarım gitmemiştir. Yok, tamam, iyi gitmemiş. Hemşire hanım, bizi mi bekliyorsun?
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
Hiç antiseptik
What
yok mu
type
yani?
of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
You have been away too long, Doctor. With the war and now this epidemic, supplies have been running scarce for months now.
İngiltere'de erzak sıkıntısı çekiyorsa biz örek yani.
During the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance
Gidelim
at the
bakalım
end of the
morga.
narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of
Morg
the narrow
anahtarını da
street.
aldık.
On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Thank you nurse. Kapı açılmıyor. Üst kata çıksak mı ya? Bir bakalım ne var ne yok. Kapı kilitli. Önce şu arka bahçeye girdi. Bir arka bahçeye bir girelim önce bir. Ne varmış bu arka bahçede bir bakalım bir. Geldik arka bahçeye. Kimse yok.
It's locked, all right. Scowl voices in the garden.
Aha, o ne lan?
I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Yine staminam bitti. Hop hop hop hop hop. Lan staminam çabuk bitiyor. Hop. Öldü. Kimi yiyordun sen? Ne yapıyordun burada? Aha o ne lan içeride adam. Şu Thomas. Vampir basmış buraya abi. İçeridekilerin de haberi yok. Oh lıkır lıkır lıkır. Hop. Sulandırılmış sağlıklı kan örneği. Bir tane daha var. Bombo. Lan lan lan lan lan lan lan. Of of of of of of. Parçalayayım ben seni. Cüzdandaki fotoğraf Milton ve Pippa.
So, Mr. Hook and Nurse Hawkins are an item.
Milton'la bu Pippa bir işler çeviriyor.
Well.
Karantina. O değil de benim emecek birini bulmam lazım. Kanım yarıya düştü. Arka bahçe dediği yer nere anlamadım ki. Neyse şu görevi yapalım. Oy. Eski morgda işine yarayacak tedavi edici maddeler bul. Demir taratı, kinin, sodyum hipoklorit. Kinin sıtma ilacı arkadaşlar. Sıtmanın dünyadaki tek ilacı kinindir. Kinin ağacından elde edilir. Yaratık sesi geliyor bir yerden. Kilitli. Şurada para var. Parayı alalım. 5 şilin de az ya. 5 şilin.
Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate.
Oh. Mis gibi. Aldık kanımızı. Lan. Bunlar sağlam ha.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
Kinini de aldık. Sağlam vuruyor bunlar ha.
This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
Alkol şişesiyle yeraltı odasının anahtarını da aldık. Aha. Gel buraya. Vur kaç abi, vur kaç. Vur kaç. Altı da mermi aldık.
It's locked.
Üst katta ne var acaba? Kesin kapalı bir kapı vardır. Yo, evet. Evet, kapalı bir kapı var. Başka bir şey yok. Aşağı ineceğim ya. Nereye gidiyorum? Kafam iyice gitti ya. Aha! Lan! Yeni çeşit çıktı ha. Nereye gitti o?
These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood.
Oh. Lan. Eleman bizi yok ediyordu ya. Bak o izliyor, bak oradan izliyor. Normalde başkası olsa saldırır, biz orada bölerdi saldırıya. O olmamış. Lan o da benim atladığım yere atladı. Ben o adam orada emerken kanını yapay zekanın orada izlemesi pek hoş değil yani. Şu bizi sevmeyen doktora benziyor. Samuel Connor ama o değil.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this.
Kullanılmış Liston bıçağı. Oo, direkt olarak kan kazanmak için diyor. Diğer el. Şuradan. Tamam. Şimdi her vuruşumuza kan mı kazanacağız? Ama o zaman da düşmana zayıf şey yapamayız. Sersemletemeyiz. Neyse bir deneyelim bakalım. Gerçi sersemletmemizin amacı kan kazanmak. Direkt kan veriyorsa sersemletmeye gerek yok abi. Aha. Aa! Staminam bitti. Lan oğlum! Yapma be! Mekan da çok dar. Kan bıçağı güzel, iyi kan veriyor. Aha. Bu ne lan? Oo, bu ne ya abi? Bir tane mi yoksa bir sürü mü? Lan! Abi staminam... Lan oğlum. Lan buna dönürsek var ya. Hayır hayır hayır hayır hayır hayır. Abi. Stamina'nın bitmesi kötü oluyor ya. Of of of of. Lan. Hayır, buraya kadar getir. Ölme, gözünü seveyim. Oh be.
These can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger.
Gidiyorduk lan az daha.
To drink blood is so tempting.
Gidiyorduk az daha ya. So what? Ha. Bitkinlik için tedavür et. Şunu mu yapacağız? Yenileme serumu mu yapacağız acaba? Bakalım görevlere. Burada pek bir şey yazmıyor abi. Anlamadım ki. Burada bir şey yapmayacağız herhalde ya. Görev burayı göstermiyor çünkü. Burayı hallettik. Buradan çıkalım. Aha. Öf. Benim geri şu silah almam lazım abi. Kazığı. Kazığı koydum mu oturtuyorum adamı çünkü. Şu. Şuraya da pompalıya alsak aslında iyi olur. Bak izliyor. Kapıdan çıkabiliyoruz sanırım. Evet. Çöpten her yerden crafting materyal çıkıyor. Dikkatli olmalıyız. Bitkinlik için tedavi üretelim bakalım. Odamızı üreteceğiz herhalde. Bu mu abi bitkinlik tedavisi? Evet. Dorothy Crane'e ilacı götür. Götürelim abi. Savaşa girince uykum açıldı abi ya. Az önce konuşma dinle. Uyku gelmişti. Uyku çökmüştü ya. Aha. Bilinmiyor. Şu bizi sevmeyen eleman.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Hastalıklar vatandaşların kan kalitesini düşürür. Onları iyileştirmek için doğru ilaçları kullan. Dorothy'nin arkasındaki odada hastayla konuşarak sağlık durumunu öğren. Hastanedeki fare.
I'm all right.
Hasta şu herhalde.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reid. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Vatandaşın tıbbi durumunu kontrol etmek için E'ye bas. Bu vatandaşı iyileştirmek için onun kan kalitesini artır ve bu sana XP sağlar diyor. Şimdi mi basacağız E'ye?
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
İlacı verelim.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
Bana kendinden bahset biraz.
Mr. Goswick. I don't want to talk, Doctor.
Adam boğazım ağrıyor diye biz adama bana kendinden bahset diyoruz.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
Tamam kardeş sen konuşma biraz dur.
How painful.
So painful.
Sen biraz dinlen.
Don't waste your time with me.
Şu kadınla konuşalım.
Madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reid? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses.
Tamam Mortimer'i iyileştireceğiz kafanı takma ona. O kadar zengin misin?
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher
Ne
by
işler
profession.
yapıyorsun?
I teach
Çok sık
young
gelir
women
misin
who are
buralara
more
falan?
ambitious about their futures than their families.
Geri.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived, but we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss
Zaten ambulans şoförüyle
dubious attitude.
o hemşire
She managed
arasında
to
bir
secure
şey
a bed
var.
for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
Sana ödeme yaptırdı mı?
For a bed.
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
Parayı cukkalamışlar ha. Ne içtiysen ondan istiyorum. Diyor senin diyor millette ne şeyleri var diyor ya. Ne içtiysen bana da ver diyor. Kafan
I
güzel
share
diyor.
your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reid. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Geri. Görüşmek
Goodbye,
üzere.
Mrs. Goswick.
Edgar Swansea ile konuş. Şu elemanla da bir konuşalım.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr.
Bunda şey vardı. İpucu. Ailen
You
içinden
seem
işine
worried
yarıyorsun.
about the safety of your family. And it's obviously the reason why your wound troubles you so much.
I cannot give up on my children now. They both need me living.
What about their mother, if I may ask?
She died in 1915 during one of the first Zeppelin raids. We never found her body.
Karının ölümü
Tell
hakkında.
me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army, building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
Çocuklar iyi mi?
Children after losing their mother.
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
Tamam, konuşacak başka bir şey kalmadı. Evet. Evet arkadaşlar, oyunu burada sonlandıralım. Bu bölümün burada sonuna gelelim. Bayağı bir saati de açtık sanıyorum. Diğer bölümde görüşmek üzere. Kendinize çok iyi bakın. Kanalıma abone olmayı unutmayın.